Welcome to where the furniture isn't always the best, but them views, they are amazing.
Welcome back to the 13th floor where the furniture isn't always the best, but those views, baby, they are amazing. I'm your esteemed host today, the one and only Be Fresh in the building. I got some special guests, but first I got my dog BJ is in the building. Weezy, what it do?
All good, man. We blessed and highly favored here another week, ready to go.
I know that's right. In these beautiful quarantine times that we dealing with, we're gonna stay hoping that they don't make these foolish decisions and decide to open the country back up because no virus is a good virus. But without further ado, I want to introduce some of my family. They decided to come and creep into the 13th floor with some good information. But without further ado, I want to give it up to Eric and Julie Washington.
Woo-hoo, how y'all doing? The Washington Law Firm week in the building. What's up?
I know that's right. So as as Julie so excitedly mentioned, they are the Washington Law Firm. But go ahead and tell the people a little bit more about the Washington Law Firm, what you guys do, and how you can help people.
All right. I'm super excited to be here with you guys tonight to just kind of showcase what it all that we do. There's the Washington Law Firm with my amazing, incredible, smart, intelligent husband, attorney Eric Washington. Despite all of this quarantineness going on, don't judge it. The man has brains. We also have the Washington Tax and Financial Services Firm. So we also take care of credit resolution and your taxes as well. So it's your one-stop financial stop. So that's what we do.
Awesome. So I know everybody, especially during this time of quarantine and dealing with this virus, everybody's been dealing with financial issues, whether losing their job. We've been doing a lot of discussion about being laid off and furloughed, but also just the money that you have, how you should be dealing with it, maybe investments, other things of that nature. What advice or other things can you guys provide for the people?
Well, I would like to be able to. You want to say something?
No, you go ahead.
If you're not part of the 10% of the community that have 6 months of emergency funds stacked away, you are definitely at risk for a lot of difficulties up ahead. With everything that's going on, even with the stimulus monies coming for $1,200, is a lot of money for a lot of people. But for those that have mortgages, car notes, and all of that, and if you already had, like, let's say, poor credit, you're already upside down on your car loan, paying high interest. You're already paying high for a car that you couldn't afford, or the credit wasn't just there, and as well as paying for the your mortgage or your rent. $1,200, like, really, it's not gonna be enough. So this is definitely difficult times, and this is the time that everybody needs to come up with different strategies. Sit down and really contemplate moving forward. All right, what do I need, and what is necessary, and what I don't need. This I feel like this is a time of reflection, and it's important that everybody sit down and have their books in order, start going down a list as far as credit cards and all that other stuff that you can live without. And so, you want to say something? I had a thought, but it just left me, so I'll come back to it. Don't judge my nails, though. They ain't done right now.
We all are dealing during these times of quarantine.
This is rough for me right now.
So,
It's real.
as she said, I would definitely take advantage of this situation right now. If you are in a situation where you cannot already afford your bills, it might be the perfect time for you to consider doing something to free yourself of those bills, so that when the economy does reopen back up and you are back in a position to be comfortable paying your bills, that you'll be able to move forward. So it might be the time to consider bankruptcy or some other debt solution right now for you. As far as with the stimulus check, if you are in a position to pay your bills, I would just continue to do so. You're receiving income, God bless you, and continue to pay your bills.
I don't want to use my $1,200 to pay the bills. That's the thing. I really want to be able to keep it.
If you receive a stimulus check and you can save it. I really wouldn't suggest, unless you have a financial planner, certain stocks for you to invest in right now, because we really don't know what the economy is going to do. The market goes up and down. We got someone who is constantly putting out misinformation to help the market, even though the market is trying to crash and wants to crash. So just better probably right now to just hold on to your eggs until they all, instead of trying to use them all up right now.
Listen, this is the practical solution. This is what I wanted to say originally.
Go ahead.
So If you could call the light company and tell them, listen, I'm experiencing hardship, see what they come up with. You can call your credit cards, all your creditors, and all them people and tell them the same thing because they got a stimulus fund as well. So you can be part of that group. That like my thing is just trying to figure out different ways to keep that little $1,200 to yourself. So I'm gonna call everybody from the lights, the water, the rent, everybody else because they don't receive the check to help people like me that may not have it to pay it in full. So why not benefit from that? So
Question on
that's
that.
one approach. Number two, if you have the $1,200, start looking at different means to invest to flip it. Can I say flip it? I mean, is that professional?
We said it now.
I don't know who I'm talking to on 13th floor, but
We are here.
$1,200, finding different ways to flip that money. I can suggest a few, but I won't do that on camera. That's what you pay me for. So, just basically just trying to come up with different, like, don't just sit up here and wait for this one lump sum that's just going to save everything for the 3 months that we've been behind or 2 months or whatever the case may be, that everything will be covered and now the economy is just going to open back up and everything is going to be back normal. I don't think that we're going to get back to our old ways. We're now having to survive our new normal. And so, if you can partner up with your other friends that have $1,200 and put something together and see how we can invest, invest in something. Say that again.
BJ had a question.
Sorry.
So yeah, one of the questions and one of the things I've been hearing, and just can you give a word of advice on when you call the creditors, you call the companies, what is it that you have to say? Because is it that I heard you say I'm experiencing financial hardship? Is that the language that has to be said? Because I read somewhere that some people, they can only respond if you say certain phrases.
From what I've heard, you have to say COVID. You have to say like pretty much like COVID. Not that you have it or anybody, but like because of the situation, you have to say COVID. But correct me if I'm wrong.
It's just
it depends on your creditor. But like for mortgage companies, car finance companies, if you call and say that you've experienced hardship, financial hardship right now because of the COVID related, you've lost your job or loss of income, being specific in those terms is what's going to let these creditors know that the key word is that you're telling them that this right now is a hardship, not something that, oh, I've been behind for 10 months already and now I'm just calling to say, hey, it's COVID related. Can you help me out? No, man, you've been behind for 10 months already. Like,
my thing is, I feel like I shouldn't have to tell you what it is. Everybody experiencing hardship right now. You got the stimulus to help us all out. So I shouldn't have to go through all of no language or nothing. We all experiencing hardship right now. What the stimulus that they gave you to help me, go ahead and apply that to my account moving forward and doing what I need to do.
Well, the fact that we live in a real world and not a perfect world, unfortunately, you are going to have to explain, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure that when you make that call, you go ahead and say COVID is, one of the contributing factors to why.
Calling it coronavirus.
But speaking of
that applies with all the bills and would be student loans as well, correct? Federal student loans.
Yes. Everybody that you owe, I suggest you make that attempt back, Brian, to go ahead and call each person that you pay out to and let them know that due to the COVID-19 experience or situation, you're experiencing hardship. You're no longer employed at this time, or whatever the case may be, and you need help. And that those funds that they receive from the federal government should go ahead now and apply to, because that's the stuff you pay into anyway. Your losing my words. You pay into your taxes and stuff like this. Is for when you have such a time such as this. So definitely utilize that, but be strategic about it. Let them pay those things off of things that you can't afford to pay. Go ahead and take care of that. But in the grand scheme of things, use the little money that you do have in a little stash. If there's ways to flip it or apply it to something else, so that way when you come out of it, it's not that you're just standing there like, okay, now I'm back on track and let me go ahead and make this check real quick. No, I don't. I believe this is going to be our new normal for a while.
Okay.
Awesome. So speaking of the stimulus checks, what other opportunities are there available to get some type of relief from the government currently, both, for individuals, families, but also for entrepreneurs, business owners that might be dealing with financial hardship as well?
Well, politicians came up with a great idea to try and help small businesses. We were just in the back of the line. And big businesses got helped out first. So they did come up with a PPP, payroll protection payment that was supposed to help out or should be able to help out small business owners to get by paying their payroll and other expenses like their lease or operating expenses. That grant or loan was supposed to be up to $10,000, depending on how your payroll is set up. And there was also an SBA small business loan that was also supposed to be offered. So entrepreneurs that are small businesses, LLC owners, any business that has less than 500 employees is considered a small business, is able to apply for this assistance. Now, there was another stimulus bill that passed Senate just recently, I believe it was tonight, and we'll see if it passes Congress or the House. If it does pass the House, it goes back to Senate, and hopefully there'll be some more stimulus money provided to both businesses and individuals. I believe they're supposed to be adding to it. So right now, what I've heard is the small business loans that were offered or supposed to be extended. Majority of that money has already been used up, and unfortunately, a lot of big corporations got a big chunk of the money first. So we'll see how that helps out the small businesses afterwards.
Awesome. What other information do you guys think is necessary during these times of quarantine, especially when
Start
it
thinking. If you're part of the minority group, can I say? I'm addressing the minorities. Start thinking, start strategizing, definitely start thinking. Don't just sit here thinking that like this is a hurricane or a storm that's just gonna pass and we can get back to normal. Really start using your minds, get in with other people that are professionals or business professionals, something. Just start being creative with the resources that you do have. So when we do come out of this, you're not coming out with your hands. I guess that analogy only works when you Haitian, so I don't really know how to say that in English. So you don't come out with diplomat. So I don't know. Never mind. Don't say balls. Sorry. I'm sorry. This is not what I was trying to say. But definitely.
I think we understand what you're trying to say. Don't come out with just stuck.
A pair.
You're in your hand. You ain't did nothing in some time. So
you gotta have a car wash business, something. If you can get with at least 10 of your other friends who done came up with money. Like in my culture and different cultures, whether it's the Jamaicans, the Chinese, or whatever, they all have their systems in place to, that's economy proof or pandemic proof. They pull money together and essentially try to make sure that the wealth stays within that ring, and people are essentially able to do different things, open up different businesses and stuff like that.
So one of the big things out there, before we leave the stimulus check thing, make sure we hit it, because a lot of people have been debating about it. I heard lots of different things back and forth. Do folks have to pay it back on their taxes next year? What is that whole background back and forth about that? Is it their money to use as they see fit, whether they're gonna save it, flip it, invest it, or get a credit on their taxes and have to pay it back next year? What should I consider that when I file taxes for next year?
The way the money was treated is it's a tax credit. If you are a audience out there, I'm sure some have children, so you know how you receive your earned income credit. That's a tax credit that you receive every year because of your children being of a certain age and living with you. This stimulus money was a special tax credit that they just created to help reduce your tax liability. If this situation would not have happened, this tax credit would not exist. So tax credit just for this year, it's not money that you're going to have to pay back. It's money that at least till next year when you do file your taxes, you're going to have to claim it as a tax credit, similar to an earned income credit, showing that, look, this is the money received. You're going to receive that credit. It won't be something that you have to pay back on. So it's a lot of misinformation out there saying that this is money that you're going to have to pay back in your taxes next year. That was not the intent, and is not the intent of the bill, even though some people will point to this is the specific language in the bill. You got to sometimes go back and look at the intent of the bill, not just the language of the bill.
Gotcha. All right, thank you.
Makes sense. Well, how can the people get in contact with you if they have any additional questions, or if they want to get in contact with you for some of the other services that you guys provide?
I'm glad you asked that question. I'm sorry, y'all. When we get in close proximity, that energy right here, it just so.
She doesn't want to social distance.
You can definitely reach us at the washfirm.com. Our phone number is 407-982-4130. Or if you would like to speak to me, you can go to washresults.com. And again, that number is 407-982-4130. We'll definitely be here to assist you the best way we know how. And we go from there.
Do you guys have an email address potentially?
Social media, email, how can people reach you?
Yeah, Facebook, all of that stuff. Quit patting each other and let's answer some questions now.
Did this separately. This is too intense right now.
I try to be my own screen.
All the hair and the hormones. So anyways, washfirm.com. You can reach Attorney Washington, Washington at washfirm.com. You can reach me. It's still the same. Even if you go on Facebook, the Washington Law Firm, or the Washington Tax and Financial Services Firm, and we'll be able to answer your questions in that way.
Based in beautiful Orlando, Florida, so I'm sure there are numerous Washington law firms on Facebook. Make sure you are searching for the Washington Firm in beautiful Orlando, Florida, and you will find
the Washington Law Firm. Yes,
the Washington Law Firm, and you guys will find them in Orlando, Florida. We definitely want to thank them again for coming to the 13th floor and having the opportunity to spread some of that knowledge with us. BJ, Weezy's World, what's going on in the world of education this week? What's happening? What's popping?
Well, officially, last weekend in the state of Florida, at least, they made the official decision that K-12 students will not go back to school this year for the remainder of this academic year, the 1920 school year. So for parents out there, if you haven't heard it or if it's just up in the air, you've heard rumors about it, it was official from the governor. That is a couple steps offices above where I'm at right now. So it did come out officially. What does that mean? Your kids will be on distance learning for the remainder of this year, but also inquire if the school is going to be doing anything over the summer to extend, because we always know there's quote unquote a summer slide. Where students kind of regress over those 2.5 to 3 months of being out of school over the summer, not reading, not doing all this stuff. But this is just going to compound it because the kids right now have been out of school for a little over a month now. We still have, I think I saw yesterday, 30 academic days left of the school year before it's done. And then you have the entire summer. So basically you'll have about 100, approximately 115, 125 days somewhere in there of not being in the school face-to-face. The transition for kids, if we're able to go back to school at the beginning of the school year, that transition back for those people leaving elementary going to middle, leaving middle going to high, and those high schools going to college, is going to be difficult for them. So this is the time to start talking to counselors at the school level, ask the questions. If you want to know about transition plans, if you want to know about getting in touch with the high school, because we're in the same boat next year. My oldest son, he's starting high school next year. So it's going to be a transition for all of us already. But now it's on top of that, we didn't officially wrap up this year. Now we got to transition to a whole new school in a new atmosphere with new teachers where he's not comfortable. And if we're still on digital platform by that time, what is that plan to help students? So start asking these questions. Your teachers directly may not know, but go to the administrators and the counselors in the building. Feel free to, that's what they're there for. They may not have all the answers, but they should be working on them and can get back to you ASAP. So please just keep digging, keep asking questions, and keep doing everything you're doing, because parents are doing a great job. It's difficult from day to day with work. Whether you're working or not working, it's difficult to all of a sudden be that teacher, that educator at home. Just keep up and manage what you can. Don't stress out. If you need help, reach out. We'll help you too.
I had a question.
Yeah.
Can I ask? My thing is, how you do PE online? Because see, I have this 12-year-old son that's like, Mom, I'm in PE right now. I'm like, well, wait.
So,
I'm about to say,
there's what
y'all work out online. Will y'all put on any video?
No, he got his uniform on, just sitting there in PE. I don't get it, but I just thought I'd put that in there.
There's different things. Even before this happened, you can take PE virtually and get credit for it. It's a lot of reading, a lot of written stuff. kids can take virtual PE, and
Man.
it's just a written class. It's not a physical class at that point.
I would have been a valedictorian had I did virtual school, and we should go back to high school. What you think? Let's do it again. Let's do it together. That'll work.
Eric look like, nah, man, nah.
Wow.
Fresh, what you got, Fresh? I know you got something for us something for the people.
Oh man, I definitely got something for the people. Kind of piggybacking off of you, telling the parents out there and pretty much everybody, you gotta relax, relate, and release. Don't allow this quarantine time to put you in a worse situation than you started with. But my fresh innovation for this week. Today, I release all burdens that weighed me down. I will concentrate on positivity and elevation. So again, stop allowing the situation at hand to put you mentally in a place that you don't need to be.
Right.
There are a lot of things that it just is what it is. Like we are where we are right now, and all of the worrying and all of the complaining is not going to change the situation that we in. And so it's better to go ahead, think positive, move positive, and be positive, and figure out solutions and not be a problem. And with that, I thank everybody for tuning in. Once again, you can check us out on Vimeo, iTunes, SoundCloud, any other place that any cloud or place that you listen to podcasts and watch videos, man. Check us out there. Once again, we had my family in the building. The lovely Julie and Mr. Eric Washington of the Washington Law Firm, dropping nothing but knowledge. We appreciate y'all attendance. We appreciate y'all listening. Once again, here on the 13th floor, where the furniture isn't always the best, but them views, baby, they are amazing. Yeah.
Welcome to where the furniture isn't always the best, but the views, they are amazing.
It's the 13th floor, yo.